Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I received a message from one of my subscribers. They sent a link to an article on the Root. The article is about another police killing. Another police killing. There's a new hashtag already. Yesterday I did a video about a police killing where a brother had his hands up and these police killed him. And today, unfortunately, I'm doing another story about another police killing in another state. Charlotte-Mecklenberg police officers shot and killed Keith Lamont Scott, a 43-year-old African-American man. He was killed in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm tired of doing these stories. I don't enjoy doing these stories about police brutality, obviously. I'm outraged by these stories. In fact, we need to move beyond just doing these videos and doing these stories and reporting about situations. But before I go into that, let me just continue with the basic facts as we know them right now. The police claim that they were searching for someone with outstanding warrants. They claim that a man returned to his vehicle, and this man, I assume, is Mr. Scott. He returned to his vehicle, and according to the police, he got out of the car with a weapon. The police claimed that he posed an imminent threat, and they opened fire upon him. Now, according to at least one witness, Scott was tased by the police and then shot 3 or 4 times after being tased by the police. After he was shot, he was taken to the hospital and he was pronounced dead. Now, the police claimed that he had a gun, but some relatives and I assume some witnesses have said that he did not have a gun. They say that he had a book and not a gun. And frankly, as I have said in video after video, I don't trust these police. I don't trust a word that comes out of their mouth. I want to hear from witnesses. I want to see video because we know that these police are liars. They have been caught in lies time and time again. Police are known for planting weapons on people. They are known for planting evidence on people. Police cannot be trusted. So I don't take their word at face value. I question everything that comes out of their mouths. Now, the community is outraged right now. I'll post links to the stories that I'm relying upon or the articles that I'm relying upon for this video so that you can read them for yourself and watch the video for yourself. But the people are outraged. At around 10 o'clock, they were still protesting. I don't know if they're protesting right now. I don't have the news on right now. But the people took to the streets when they heard about this news of another police killing. Because the time for all the nonsense is over with. The time for talking, the time for doing these videos is over with. It's time for action right now. The time for division among our people is over with. There is a war going on against black people. How many signs do the people need to see in order to get a clue as to what's going on? How many black men and women must be killed for us to finally wake the hell up and realize that we need to unite as a people? You got people debating over religion. You have people arguing over relationship issues. You have a so-called gender war going on. You have people debating even over different philosophies and this and that, while the senseless violence against our people continues. When these police brutalize us, when they stop us and harass us and kill us, they're not asking us which group we belong to. They're not saying, well, are you a Hebrew? Are you a Egyptian person or a Muslim or a Christian or an atheist? They just see a black man or a black woman and they see a nigger in their eyes. They see somebody that's dangerous in their eyes. They see us as one while we separate and divide ourselves up into these ridiculous categories. They see us as one people and they treat us accordingly. While people are talking about some hip hop nonsense, about some hip hop feud, our people are dying at the hands of these police. Even this hip hop artist, The Game, had sense enough to know it is time to end silly beef when these police are killing black people, when they don't value black lives, when they take black lives at a blink of an eye. This situation is outrageous. And I'm tired of us being in a position of weakness. I'm tired of black people being defenseless. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of our people simply reacting to situations instead of being proactive. The lawyers come in after a black man or woman is already dead. They come in, they make speeches in front of cameras, and another black man is dead. Another black woman is dead. And these lawyers come in after the fact. What can we do to prevent these things from even happening in the first place? Civil rights organizations come in after the fact. After another black man or black woman or black child is killed by these police. They come in after the fact. They come in ready to pose in front of the cameras, ready to jockey for position, for attention. Meanwhile, the problem that plagues our community continues over and over again. Meanwhile, there's another black man dead. And tomorrow there'll be more. What can we do to prevent these things from happening? You have these politicians hustling our communities. You have this politician, Hillary Clinton, pretending like she is supportive of this whole movement to respect and honor black lives. This woman used the so-called mothers of the movement as political footballs to win a primary. And maybe I missed it, but I haven't heard her say a damn thing about these recent killings. Now that she had the Negro vote on lock to secure the nomination, I haven't heard her addressing these issues right now. Not on the mainstream media, not on NBC or CNN or any of these other stations. They come to our communities for our votes, and then they abandon us once they get our votes. And you got this other one, Donald Trump, who's in the last days of the election, and he finally gets around to the Negro. He finally wants to pretend like he cares about our issues. Well, what do you have to say about the killing of all these countless black men and women at the hands of these police? What do you have to say? And even worse than these politicians, you have the vultures. You have the hyenas. You have the maggots who feast on the corpses of the deceased. They look forward to hearing about the death of another black person killed by the police. They look forward to it. They look forward to it so that they can attack the victim. Attack the victim. Blame the victim. And exonerate the police. They make excuses for the police. They justify the police brutality that's inflicted upon black people. That's what happens. You have YouTube personalities who will sell out their community for a few coins from AdSense. Just like Judas sold out Jesus for a few pieces of silver. These people will sell out their community. They will defend the cops who brutalize us. These people are the modern day house Negro that Malcolm X told us about. The modern day house Negro. That's what they are. They love the master more than they love themselves. They will give their life for the master. They will brutalize and attack their own people to please their master. That's what they will do. You got people on here who know good and damn well that cases like this are obvious and clear examples of injustice. But yet these people put on a damn minstrel show for attention, for subscribers, for views, and for dollars. They're no different than those minstrels who painted themselves black and wore knotted wigs and entertained the white folks. In fact, these people are like the overseers on the plantation. Sometimes the slave master will be in such a position of privilege that he didn't want to dirty up his fancy outfits. He didn't want to sweat. He didn't want to have blood on his hands. So he had his black overseer, his black sellout, his black slave beat the other slaves while he watched and gave orders. And that's what some of these YouTube personalities have allowed themselves to become. And even beyond YouTube, that's what some of these entertainers have allowed themselves to become. They have become completely clueless. They have allowed themselves to be used as puppets against their own people. You have things like this going on in the world, and you have these idiotic people actually have the nerve, have the gall, have the audacity to say that racism doesn't exist. I mean, when I hear something like that and I see cases like this, I literally feel like going upside their head. I literally feel like shaking them to wake them up from their deep sleep. It's time to wake up. Again, how many black people must die before we wake up, before we take action? These videos are not enough. Written blogs are not enough. It's time for action. It's time for people to actually take to the streets and make their voices heard. You got people that want to do these videos, but they don't even plan to even vote in the election this year. That makes no sense to me. You have the ability to decide who will be the prosecutor in your city, who will be the one to bring charges against police, who will be the chief of police. You decide that through voting for a mayor in your city. You have so much power in your hands through the vote, but we don't exercise that vote properly. We don't educate ourselves about the issues the way we should. You can't complain about these problems if you're not even voting. And I just wonder how many people who are listening to this video right now are part of an organization fighting for black people. An actual organization doing something to improve the situation in our communities. I know people have all these criticisms against groups like Black Lives Matter. Well, if you have a problem with a Black Lives Matter organization, form your own organization. Join another organization, but join some kind of organization. Get involved in your community. Make a difference. Make a difference. See, these policies need to be changed. These policies that impact our lives. I remember when I was a kid and I saw stories about the civil rights movement, or if I saw stories about slaves resisting oppression, I thought that I wanted to be a part of something like that. I thought about how I would resist slavery. I would be involved in the civil rights movement if I lived in those days. That moment is now. We don't have to look back into history books to understand struggle. The time for us to be involved is right now. The time for truth, the moment of truth is now. And we all need to be engaged and a part of this movement. And the people are moving out. You know, as I said before, there are protests. People have had enough. The people have had enough. They're not going to sit by and allow this injustice to continue. They're not going to wait around for some respectable leader or some respectable organization to mobilize them. The people are taken to the streets now. The people are not interested in some Negro civil rights performance. The people are engaging in protests. They're not waiting for some kind of permit to march or some kind of permit to demonstrate. They're not waiting for permission from the damn oppressor to protest. They are taken to the streets now. They're taking matters into their own hands. Because, you know, as has been said many times, and I can't recall who said it. I think it was Gandhi who said it, but we are the ones we've been waiting for. If you want somebody to save your community, you got to look in the mirror. This is our community, as my imam says, and it's our responsibility.